Hello guys, and this time we have another review. It's on the Nerf N series Wielder, which is a fun blaster that has one or actually two big cons. I'll talk about them, but first I have to mention that the dealer review did really well, like my olden videos. I hope that this video does well as well. But either way, I'll get right into this review, starting at the front, but before that we'll take off the stock and talk about this later. At the front we do not have an N-strike barrel lug, nor the N-series barrel lug, which works with only N-series attachments, but the attachments that come with them are working with N-strike barrel lugs. I'll have to talk about it when I get either the Storm Charge or whatever it's called and some other ones. But it does not have it, and it does have a tactical rail on the top, which works with all of your N-strike tactical strike attachments. And at the bottom here we have a 4-round cylinder. A 4-round one. Yeah, that is the biggest con with this, or maybe the second biggest, but it's one of the biggest cons with this. 4 rounds for this size blaster is really dumb. And they're releasing newer ones, which are also bolt action cylinder fed, which have 6 starts, or 8, I'm not really sure. But if they could just make this 6, maybe 8, this would be way better. But from what I know, you can actually pull out the cylinder out of an agility and put it in this, which is really good actually. Making me wonder, why did they take time to design a 4-round cylinder? It's completely beneath me to know that. But yeah, one weird thing with it is also that it rotates clockwise actually. Meaning it's actually gonna be easier for left-handed people to reload this. Because usually as a right hand you would load it from here. Right now you have to hold it from here. It's not a big problem, it's pretty easy. It's just weird. And I don't see why they did it. Down to the prime is actually pretty good. It's not a super easy prime, but it's also not super heavy. About the half of the prime is actually the prime, and the other half is also the prime, but also the rotating. Meaning that you can technically rotate this without prime, as I will show right now. That is a big problem with these kind of rotation blasters. But it doesn't happen often, and when you prime the blaster you can still rotate it. And the prime is, as I said, pretty good. You can unscrew this and put it on the other side if you wanted to. And it doesn't have any problems with unscrewing. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's comfy, not the biggest, not the smallest. It's just decent. Onto the grip. The grip is really good. It has a nice finger groove, even though it might be a bit small. It's made in such a way, even if you have really super thick fingers, it will still be comfy. It just is good. The rest of the grip is very nicely formed, and it's long enough for even people with bigger hands. Keep in mind I have long fingers but thin hands. And the back part here, it does have slightly worse quality on plastic, as you can see. Which might think is worse, but when you actually use it, it will squish back a little, meaning it does actually induce some comfort. Is it good to use cheaper plastic? No. I still think it's better to have a separate little piece, like on the double punch, that actually is a bit squishy. But it's still pretty good. Also, I will make probably an updated review of the double punch in about a month or so, because it's good. Okay, the trigger. The trigger is okay. It's pretty meh. It almost definitely uses a leaf spring or a plastic spring because yeah, that is not good. It also does have a click, which is weird. But when you actually do fire it, it's snappy. So the trigger is bad, but it's okay when you actually fire it because it's actually pretty snappy. So meh. Onto the stock attachment point back here. As you can see, it's pretty far back from what usually it is, and you might know that it's a bit different on stock attachment point, and it doesn't have like bottom support, which is usually good, because the stock, when you actually press up against it, is going to force up, meaning that, or down, yeah, down actually, meaning that, no, it actually does press up, but that does act as a countermeasure to actually, that it doesn't snap, so yeah, kind of blabbed around there. Also, the stock attachment point is a bit different, and it's a really nice design, but the stock is down. The plastic quality and the design. First at the design. The design is really good. I really like it. As I said in my previous reviews and the review of the pinpoint, which is not on the board because it's a bit hard to put on there. It does have kind of like kids superhero like jumpsuit kind of color scheme with the orange, the blue, the more orange and white accents, which is pretty cool. I love the color scheme, but it's not extremely good like, let's say, the Fury X or the Lot Blaster. So it does look really good, but it's not amazing, if you know what I mean. It just looks good, not bad. Also, no paint nor Nerf logo on the other side. Also, Nerf 10 series doesn't put their names on the blaster, which is dumb, honestly. I know the reason why the Action doesn't do them, because they have these like printed things and stuff like that, but Nerf, why don't you do it? Just do it. It's a bit more paint to know the name of the blaster. The plastic quality. As I said, this part is cheap, but it's good that it's cheap. The rest of it, extremely good. Only the trigger might have the same plastic quality as here, maybe slightly better, but it's the trigger, it's not that important, and it will probably not break. The rest of the blaster is amazing build quality, basically the same as the double punch or the mediator. It's just good, it feels good, it looks good, it's nice, it's got nice heft to it without being heavy or light. It's just good. The plastic is amazing, besides this part, which it's actually good, it's cheap. Now on to the stock attachment point. The stock attachment point is short because yeah, I can pretty sure I can just, yeah, I can almost definitely put it behind my hand. Yeah, I won't fiddle around with that too much, but it is super short, and it's not gonna be comfy because yeah, it's gonna be comfy for an 8 or a 6-year-old, but not really for people over 10, 11 years old. But you might say, oh, but it's made for 8-year-olds. Yeah, an 8-year-old is gonna pick this up, use it once or twice, maybe feel my times, but people that are older actually buy this blaster. From my experience, most people that do have Nerf blasters are from 10 to 18 years old. Not really 18, more like 15. And I'm just 15, or 15 and a half right now. Actually 15 and 2/3, if we want to be specific. But yeah, it's super short, and it's not really comfy, and it's a bit cheaper quality, which is dumb. And it looks okay, but it's super short, so it looks dumb. The big difference is the top teeth. Instead of having them at the bottom, like, let's say, the turbine, which you see these orange little teeth, well, it's on the top, and it has this button instead of the two like little tools on the side. Why is this actually really good? Well, it won't work with your old N-Strike stock, which is dumb, but it does mean that when you put it on, it's going to be way less flexible. Just look at this. There's a little bit of space that gets made. Then it's gonna be way more stable. Also, it is a usable length when it's on this blaster because of the length that added. So it's okay with this blaster, which it only really works with this and the dealer. Now let's take the turbine stock, which firstly it's really bad looking in my opinion on basically any other blaster, but it's gonna be more comfy. But there's a bit more flex to it. Now on this blaster it's not as much, and this is a wider one, so it's not gonna be as bad. But basically, it being at the top is more stable. If that makes sense. Even though with this blaster it's not really that important, it's only really gonna be good for higher end blasters. The dumb part with this stock, which is on the ground, is that it only has teeth on the top. From what I think is that they should have teeth on both the top and the bottom, meaning that they can actually go on all blasters. Also, another thing is the button on the top is not really perfect. Because if for example you wanted to actually put your cheek on it here, it might just take it off. It hasn't happened to me because first I don't really put my cheek down for this blaster in particular, and I don't really use this stuff. But it's not the smartest thing. Overall, it's a nice idea and a nice execution. It could be better. The stock is just short, weird looking and uncomfy and bad plastic. So yeah, now I'll show you the firing. Okay, so I'll be shooting the wielder at the target over there. I'll be firing the cylinder fully loaded twice without any attachments nor slam fire because the attachments suck and it doesn't have slam fire. So let's go. Okay, now that you saw the firing, it shoots pretty well. The biggest problem, it has 4 darts. And the fact that it's in the gear up pack, meaning that you have to pay $20-30 to get all 3, even if you want to get just this one. Which is not the smartest thing. Now, I will also make a video going over all 3, or the gear up pack, and I'll tell you which one, how good they are, quickly going over them, and how good the pack is. Probably somewhere in the next week. But what about this blaster? Although you can buy it on its own and it does have a bad amount of darts, if you like N-series darts, this is a good buy. And really this is the only non-rival revolver that, actually it's basically the only revolver from Nerf that is bolt action, which it's fun. And I think revolver, yes, there was the Eagle Point and a bunch of other similar ones which do have a cylinder, but those are cylinder-fed blasters, not revolvers, because in real life there are and they were guns or rifles that had cylinders. They weren't revolvers, they were cylinder rifles, if that makes sense. But this blaster really is. It's not amazing. If you like the looks, you can put a 3D printed cylinder to increase the capacity, maybe only use elite darts. It's good. This blaster has some mod potential and people are gonna like it. I bought it because I wanted the bolt action and I wanted the flags, the dealer, to review, and also they're fun. And also they were on sale. So overall, this blaster is pretty good. I love it, but really it does have its cons, which are fixable, but really it's not an amazing blaster. It's decent if you want it. If you don't, just don't get it. Unless you want to get the dealer. So you're gonna have to get this, unless you trade. So overall, pretty good blaster. I hope you liked this video, and I hope this video as well, but it's a bit long, so I doubt it. Either way, my name is Nixie, and bye bye.